everyone, my name is Fejiro and this is Cozy Veggie, and on this channel we cover a variety of things such as Let's Plays, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. If my outfit looks familiar, it's because I'm filming a lot of content back to back, so please do not mind the outfit repeating for the next couple of videos. I'm just wanted, I have a lot of free time, so you know what, I just might as well film a lot of videos. Either way, that's not the main focus of this video. What we're here to talk about are 5 JRPGs, or specifically 5 JRPG franchises that are great for beginners. As someone who got back into gaming within the past 3 years, and JRPGs are my favorite genre, I thought this would be a great topic to talk about. As someone who is also still pretty green to the genre, I think it would be great to hear from my perspective as well on my experiences with the genre as well as the games that I played, and how I tailored this list, because these are games that I felt like were not as scary to play or intimidating, and I could complete and accomplish and felt really great playing them. So without further ado, let's get into our list of JRPGs for beginners. First on our list we have Xenoblade Chronicles. The Xenoblade Chronicles franchise is an interesting case of a niche, not so well known and kind of overlooked genre or game that has now become a Nintendo powerhouse that brings in a lot of people, not only to the series, but to the genre and to the console altogether. The Xenoblade Chronicles franchise to me is a great introductory JRPG for those new to the genre. What's great about these games in the series is that they all follow the same or similar premise of an expansive world with an endearing cast of characters. All these games are great at world building, lore, and characters to fall for. The combat is a little different than other JRPGs that follow a real-time action-based combat. What makes it different is that it has auto battling involved in attacking enemies. When going against an enemy, your character is already attacking them, but you do have control of other actions and special attacks that can inflict more damage or build up combos for even more damage to the enemy. If you find that the world is a little overwhelming, because it can be, the world is very vast, you can still take your time to do some small side quests and just immerse yourself into the world. To me, Xenoblade is best when it comes to its narrative, and not a single entry has disappointed me yet. And I think you will not be disappointed with any of the 3 in the series. Now, I know technically there's 4 games in the series. However, Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is the 4th or the 2nd to the series, is only on this Wii U console, which I know that not many people have, and even trying to buy a console and the game would cost you a pretty penny. I'm pretty sure it would cost you the same as buying a whole new Switch, so I'm not including that game into the video. But out of the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition 2 and 3, the one that I personally would start off is Definitive Edition. It's where it all began, has really great cast of characters. The combat isn't too difficult to understand, and honestly the story is amazing. However, I do think that 3 is also a good starting point as well, but I would lean more to the first entry of Definitive Edition. So next in our list is the Atelier Ryza series. The Atelier franchise has been around for a while, but it wasn't until the Atelier Ryza spin-off rose in popularity and became the new face, hence for many new players to come to the new franchise. For me, I've only played a little bit of the first entry, but what I played has been amazing. Out of all the recent modern RPGs out there, Atelier Ryza is definitely more approachable, and with its turn-based combat, it makes it easier for newcomers to play along as well. What sets the series apart from other JRPGs is its emphasis on the crafting mechanics, since you're playing an alchemist. You can definitely spend long periods of time crafting away before you realize you've actually had to go play the main story. Atelier Ryza definitely evokes a cozy, chill vibe when playing that I highly recommend for a JRPG novice. The Atelier Ryza series is probably a very chill, I definitely would put this under the category of cozy games, because as a JRPG it's not super, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as intimidating, or the world is super hectic and a lot's going on. It's pretty chill. You're just a girl who is tired of her hometown and has this ability to create cool crafts and potions and wants to explore that and wants to see the world. and I think it's a really cute premise that anyone can play and approach to. The next on our list, and similar to, is Blue Reflection series. The Blue Reflection series is another chill turn-based RPG that comes from the developers of Gust, who also brought us Atelier Ryza. Both have similar art styles and pull the same demographic of players. With the Blue Reflection series, you follow a group of girls to fight off a dark evil. If you grew up with or are a fan of Sailor Moon, you will definitely enjoy this game. You follow a schoolgirl who has gone through a big life change when her ballet career is cut short, only to be thrust into a world of magical girls saving the world from a dark and powerful evil. What makes this game series approachable and fun is that it has an in-game day cycle where you can grow your bonds with your fellow classmates that also impact your combat when in battle. It's a beautiful and bright, colorful world, and it definitely is inviting, and the combat is easy and to follow for newcomers. To me, what I've seen so far with the Blue Reflection series, I just want to preface, I have not played them yet, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's a very chill, very peaceful, I mean not so peaceful, you're still like fighting a lot of crazy bad guys, but to me whenever I see like clips or the trailer of it, I just literally just reminds me of Sailor Moon, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like Saturday morning cartoon all over again. So definitely Blue Reflection series is a series that JRPG newcomers would definitely have a fun time playing. Next on our list is the Fire Emblem series. Now the Fire Emblem series is probably the franchise that birthed the strategy RPG, or at least made them more well known and more mainstream. However, I would have to say that the more recent games of the franchise are more beginner friendly, as that the permadeath feature isn't a super prominent feature that can scare new players off. You're probably wondering, what is permadeath? But before I get there, I should explain more what Fire Emblem is. Fire Emblem's main focus is its tactical turn-based combat on a grid-based battlefield where for the most part you're following a group of characters fighting the big bad. That is a very simplified synopsis of the franchise, but hopefully you get the idea of what the game has to offer. What sets this game apart from other JRPGs is the permadeath feature, meaning that when a unit or character dies, they're gone for good. For the most JRPG aficionados, the permadeath feature was a super intimidating but also challenging feature that most recent entries have kind of steered away from in terms of their gameplay. It has allowed the gameplay and the franchise to be a lot more approachable. As someone who, my first experience with the Fire Emblem franchise was Fire Emblem Three Houses, and permadeath wasn't really much of a thing, with the feature of the Divine Pulse where you can rewind time and fix a mistake or fix a move that you wanted to make better, or you thought that this unit would be better at this point or whatever or whatnot. I didn't really experience that much. Now that I've played other entries, particularly the more modern, and I mean like 3DS and Switch entries of the game, I definitely do think those ones are definitely more approachable. In terms of which would be the best one to start off with, that's a hard one to say. There technically are, you can start wherever, but I think for me there are like three that I think would be good starting points. I think Fire Emblem Three Houses, Fire Emblem Engage, and Fire Emblem Awakening are really good places to start for people who are new to the series, also who are new to strategy RPGs altogether. All of those entries give a really good introductory of what a strategy RPG look like. And at the end of the day, it's still a turn-based RPG, so it's not super unfamiliar. So yeah. And lastly, we have the Persona series. To the fans of the genre, this may not come as a surprise. The Persona franchise has definitely rose in popularity over the years and has especially have been new heights with its new entry of Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. But to break it down, in all the entries, it pretty much takes place in the modern day Tokyo or Japan, as you follow a group of misfit teenagers who have obtained this ability to control a persona to help with your combat. What makes this game so interesting is the ability to create bonds with many characters scattered throughout the story and go out to do normal things like any teenager would. Activities like going to the movies or studying late at night or going to an amusement park with your friends. This may seem super boring, but all the activities you partake in help strengthen your bonds with your confidants and also can help you with the overall gameplay as a whole. The game is definitely a long one, and you will find yourself so enamored by the characters and the combat you'll honestly forget about the time. What's really great about the Persona series, it also has this really cool fusion mechanic, or let's say even before we get to the fusion mechanic, what's great about the Persona series is that it's kind of similar to Pokemon in the sense that it does have monster collecting, and the monsters that you're collecting are personas, or I think demons, or am I mixing between different series? Either way, you collect these personas that you meet throughout your combat or the story, and you kind of collect them. And what's really cool, you can fuse different personas to make a whole new one to help with your combat. I have fallen in love with the series. I finished Persona 5 Royal last year, winter of last year, and I really loved it. And I definitely want to go back and play 3 and 4, which are now on modern day consoles, which is up heaven sent. Now, as for me, what would be the one to start off with? It's kind of a no-brainer, and that's definitely Persona 5. I would start off with Persona 5 Royal. What's different between Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal is that Persona 5 Royal is more of a definitive edition of the game, meaning that there's more content, more quality of life adjustments, and overall a whole package than what the base game of Persona 5 you would get. So definitely get Persona 5 Royal. Like, I highly emphasize that. So yeah, I really hope that this list was helpful for all those JRPG newbies out there. I know the genre can be intimidating at first, but once you like dip your toes in and find the series or game that you start off with, once it kind of sets the tone, and before you know it, you're a JRPG aficionado and you've collected a mass collection of JRPGs. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Also leave down below what would be your franchise or series or game that you would start off with, or to recommend to someone who wants to play JRPGs for the first time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!